Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. Michelle Carter released from jail early in texting suicide case. Carter, 23, urged her boyfriend Conrad Roy III via text messages and phone calls to take his own life. Michelle Carter, the woman convicted of manslaughter for urging her suicidal boyfriend to kill himself in text messages, a case that gained national attention, was released from jail today. Carter, 23, was released from Bristol County Jail in Dartmouth, where she had served 12 months of a 15-month sentence. The Plainville native was released on good behavior, officials said, and she will serve 5 years of probation. Carter, wearing a white blazer and dark slacks, was seen being driven out of the facility by her attorney. Carter and her attorney were later seen at Taunton District Court, where she is believed to have seen a probation officer. Her release comes after U.S. Supreme Court declined last week to hear her lawyer's appeal of her involuntary manslaughter conviction in the 2014 death of her boyfriend, Conrad Roy III. Carter's case gained national attention as it raised legal questions about free speech and provided a disturbing look at teenage relationships and depression. It also sparked legislative proposal in Massachusetts to criminalize suicide cocaine. A Massachusetts judge determined Carter, who was 17 at the time, caused the death of 18-year-old Roy when she ordered him in a phone call to get back into his parked truck, which he rigged to fill up with a deadly carbon monoxide. The phone call wasn't recorded, but the judge relied on text Carter sent to her friend, in which she said she told Roy to get back in. In text messages sent in the days leading up to Roy's death, Carter also encouraged him to follow through with his suicide plan and chested him when he didn't. Carter opted for a bench trial as usual legal strategy that meant a judge denied her fate rather than a jury. She also didn't testify in her defense at the trial. The state's highest court upheld Carter's conviction last February, and she was ordered to begin serving her jail sentence. She was denied parole in September. Carter and Roy both lived in Massachusetts but met in Florida in 2012, while both were on vacation with their families. Their relationship consisted mainly of texting and other electronic communication. Both teenagers struggled with depression, and Roy made earlier suicide attempts. Carter's lawyers argued in their Supreme Court appeal that the conviction should be thrown out because it was an unprecedented violation of their client's First Amendment rights that suggested words alone are enough to hold someone responsible for another person's suicide. The lawyers also argued there was simply not enough evidence to prove Carter urged Roy to get back in his truck to die, or that he would have lived if she had called for help or taken other actions to try to save his life. The case, strongly echoing Carter's, meanwhile, is playing out in a Boston court. Prosecutors from former Boston College student Ayon Yo drove her boyfriend Alexander Yeltley to kill himself in toxic relationship that included thousands of abusive text messages. The 21-year-old has pleaded not guilty to involuntary manslaughter. And that is it for my evening news report right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow with more news reports. Good night and bye, everyone.